Hiring the wrong DWI lawyer in North Carolina can cost you your license, your freedom, and thousands of dollars you didn't need to spend. And here's the part nobody tells you. It's not just about finding a good lawyer. It's about spotting the wrong one before they get their hands on your case. Because once you hire them, you're locked in, and fixing their mistakes later can be impossible. So today I'm giving you the 8 questions that instantly separate the pros from the pretenders, plus the run now answers you need to listen for. Hi, I'm J. Scott Smith, a North Carolina DWI defense attorney with 18 years of experience helping clients beat charges, protect their licenses, and keep their lives on track. Here's the truth. A DWI in this state isn't just another traffic ticket. It's a criminal charge with some of the toughest laws in the country. And while the stakes might feel obvious, jail time, losing your license, huge fines, there's a hidden cost. The wrong lawyer can burn months of your life, drain your bank account, and still leave you with a conviction that you could have avoided. The good news? There are some patterns. Strong DWI lawyers answer these 8 questions in a way that gives you confidence. Weak ones? They'll either dodge, waffle, or flat out lie. Let's start out with the first and maybe the most important question. Question 1. How much of your practice is dedicated to DWI defense? This is the concentrationist versus generalist test. A lawyer can be brilliant in one case and totally average in another. North Carolina's DWI laws change constantly. New case law, new sentencing guidelines, new interpretations by judges. A lawyer who only handles a couple DWIs a year may be months behind the curve without even realizing it. I once reviewed a case where a lawyer missed a change in how the breathalyzer calibration records were handled. That single oversight meant the defense never challenged the breath test, and their client lost their license for a year. Ask, what percentage of your cases are DWI? If they say most or the majority, and they can point to recent wins in cases like yours, good sign. If they say, I handle all kinds of cases, without emphasizing DWI, that's your cue to move on. Question 2. What's your experience with local courts and judges? Your DWI isn't heard in some generic courtroom. It's in this county with this judge and this prosecutor. Sentencing and plea deal options can swing wildly depending on who's on the bench or who the prosecutor is. An attorney who knows the personalities, tendencies, and even the quirks of these players has an advantage before the case even starts. In one county I work in, a particular judge is far more open to hearing detailed mitigation if you present it with character witnesses. Another judge in the same county prefers written briefs only. If your lawyer doesn't know that, they can walk in unprepared and you pay the price. Ask, what's your experience with judges and prosecutors here? They should be able to name them, share their tendencies, and explain how that affects strategy. If they pause, look like they're guessing, that's a hard no. Question number 3. How do you approach challenging the traffic stop and arrest? This is the can they fight question. If the stop was unlawful or the officer cut corners or procedure, your entire case could be thrown out, but only if your lawyer knows how to find those weaknesses. I once had a client whose stop was based on a vague weaving claim. We pulled dash cam footage, slowed it down frame by frame, and proved the officer exaggerated. Case dismissed. A lawyer who doesn't request that footage immediately? They've already lost ground. You want to hear specifics. Always request dash or body cam footage, review probable cause, and cross-check sobriety test protocols. If they jump straight to plea deals without taking evidence, they're not fighting for you. Question 4. What are the possible outcomes in my case? This is about honesty. Some lawyers make big promises to close the deal, but criminal law has too many variables for guarantees. Anyone who says otherwise is either naive or manipulative. A good lawyer will lay out best case, worst case, and most likely scenarios, and explain why. That way you can make informed decisions without being blindsided. If they promise a guaranteed win, that's not confidence. That's a sales pitch. Question number 5. What's your strategy if the case goes to trial? Not every lawyer is a trial lawyer. Some actively avoid trial because it's more work. Even if trial is your best shot at a win, they should be able to talk through jury selection, officer cross-examination, and potential expert witnesses. If they say, I rarely go to trial, that's code for I probably won't for you either. Question 6. How do you communicate with clients? DWI cases move fast. Deadlines for DWI hearings and filings can be tight. If you can't reach your lawyer, you could miss a critical date and lose your license by default. Look for a clear plan, direct contact info, expected response times, and regular updates. If they say, we'll be in touch if something comes up, prepare to be chasing them. Question 7. What will this cost and what's included? Money surprises in a legal case are never good surprises. Some lawyers always quote a low fee to get you in the door, and then tack on extras for investigators, expert witnesses, or even copying documents. Get a transparent breakdown of fees and what's included. If it sounds too good to be true, it probably means they don't plan to put much into your case. Question 8. What's your track record with DWI cases like mine? Past results aren't a guarantee, but they are a pattern. If a lawyer dodges specific, it's often because they don't have strong wins to share. They should give you examples, dismissals, reduced charges, favorable plea deals. If they only talk in general terms, be cautious. Hiring the right North Carolina DWI lawyer can make the difference between keeping your license and losing your freedom. Ask these 8 questions, listen closely to the answers, watch for the red lights, and walk away from anyone who can't back up their words with proof. And before you make any other moves in your case, watch my next video, the 10 biggest mistakes people make after a North Carolina DWI arrest and how to avoid every single one. And remember, arrested doesn't mean guilty.